aging or old age will automatically or normally will lead to hair loss. It's not true actually. Dear friends, we have come here today to have our Facebook live session. So a few days ago, a lot of you have been asking a lot of questions regarding hair loss. So I'm here to answer all your queries. I'm Dr BK Garg. I'm plastic and cosmetic surgeon. I'm practicing in New Delhi and Gurugram since last 15 years. So over the years, I have treated more than 20,000 patients with hair loss problems. So today I will try to answer most of your questions which you have been sending me over the last few days. So most common question which most of the people have been asking about is what exactly is male hair loss? Male hair loss is largely the common hair loss which we see is male pattern baldness. So initial stages it appears as a mild hair loss and you may see thinning of hair. Most common cause is androgenetic. So when we say androgenetic, we actually mean that this is specific to men and it's mediated or it's caused by hormones, but do not take it as if something is wrong with levels of your hormone. So, and there's genetic component to it, so that's why it is called androgenetic. So whether you will have hair loss, male pattern baldness depends upon some genetic factors, and then there are some additional factors which contribute to it. Whether male pattern hair loss has something to do with age. It is general misconception. No, it's nothing to do with age. It is general misconception that aging or old age will automatically or normally will lead to hair loss. It's not true actually. Hair loss, particularly male pattern hair loss, this has nothing to do with age. It can start as early as 18 years of age or even earlier, sometimes around 16 or 17 years of age also you can start seeing male pattern baldness. Now then at the same time you can see some old people, I mean somebody who may be 65 or 70 and he may not have any hair loss at all. So male pattern baldness has nothing to do with aging. Other common misconception, and many of you have asked me question about, is whether you get male pattern baldness or baldness from father or from mother. So we can't say that male pattern baldness can only be inherited from father or from mother. Male pattern baldness can come from either side, it can be from both sides, or many times when you commonly say that no, my father is not bald, why I have got bald. So it is important to understand that genetic manifestation or genetic transmission doesn't mean that it will always be manifested in every person whosoever has this trait. So your father may have very mild baldness and then you may get severe baldness, or your father may be completely normal and somebody else in his family may have some baldness. So this is very complex issue, and many times you may not see the exact baldness in your family, but in sometimes you see it in distant family. It can be transmitted from both sides, from mother or father's side. Then just one of you have asked whether dandruff can cause hair loss. Now it is important to, it's an interesting question. This is very commonly believed that dandruff can cause baldness. Now you have to understand there are two different things. One, the hair loss which you can see, which may not lead to baldness. Now, baldness is generally, if we're talking about men, is not linked to dandruff. Development baldness or male pattern baldness is not caused by dandruff. Dandruff itself can cause hair loss. It can sometimes accelerate male pattern baldness. Dandruff can cause temporary loss of hair, which can be recovered. If some hair loss is happening because of dandruff, it can be recovered. But it's highly unlikely that you will go bald because of dandruff only. That's highly unlikely. Whether the same baldness happens in women also. Now, female hair loss is far more complex than male hair loss. If we see baldness or development of early baldness in men, it is almost always the outcome of androgenetic alopecia, or it's generally common baldness which develops in most of the men. It is as common as 30 to 40% of men can develop baldness at some stage in life. A female baldness or female loss of hair is very different from male loss of hair. Now, it's very common to see even young females or even women who do not have female pattern baldness or genetic baldness or androgenetic baldness. They develop hair fall, which can be quite excessive. Now, this can be because of various reasons. It can be nutritional, it is quite common. Deficiency of iron is very common in this country. So many women can experience hair fall as a result of anemia, which is generally iron deficiency anemia. Then some other nutritional deficiencies will affect female hair far more aggressively than they do in men. So deficiency of folic acid, deficiency of vitamin D, deficiency of iron. So all these things can contribute to hair loss. Apart from that, many women can experience accelerated or aggressive or a lot of hair fall during pregnancy. This hair fall many times, or I will say most of the time, should reverse after the pregnancy is over. But sometimes due to some other issues or some unknown reasons, this hair fall which you had during pregnancy doesn't recover or recovers partially only, and you continue to have thin hair for many months or years after your pregnancy. In these cases, you need to provide some special medicines or care to stop the hair fall and to recover whatever has been lost. Apart from pregnancy, in case of women, we do get hair fall because of some hormonal imbalance. It can be because of thyroid deficiency, it can be because of some other hormonal issues, even diabetes or pregnancy-related hormonal changes. Some other medicines you are taking for some other problem can contribute to female hair loss. Dietary deficiencies and hormonal issues are far more common in women than in men. So what exactly is the role of shampoos and conditioners or external products, hair colors in causing hair fall? It is important to understand that hair fall or the process of hair fall or the process of thinning of hair and the process of baldness, it all happening under the skin. I mean, hair roots which stop growing, or they are growing slowly, or they are not growing adequately, so your hair gets thin. Now, most of the shampoos and conditioners won't be affecting as far as baldness is concerned, as far as the issue of thinning of hair is concerned. But at the same time, there can be very strong chemicals in shampoos, conditioners and hair colors, particularly hair colors, which can damage your hair physically and chemically. So your hair strand can become thinner. Your hair strand can become rough and they tend to break easily. So hair shampoos, hair colors and conditioners, if they are not chosen wisely or they're not used wisely and correctly, sometimes, yes, they can contribute to damage to your hair. But it's unlikely that shampoos will cause baldness. Highly unlikely that shampoo or conditioner or hair color will cause baldness. Hair color is far more damaging than any other shampoo or conditioner, particularly hair colors which are not ammonia free. So they tend to remove the outer layer of hair and then they color deeply so that your color stays longer. So if any color which stays longer than 15 to 20 days, it means it has taken off the outer layer of his hair. cuticle, which we call, and it is colored deeply, so that's why it stays for a longer time. You should try to avoid these kind of hair colors and shampoos. So these hair products, all of them have some potential to damage your hair, but at the same time, they're unlikely that they will ever cause baldness.